Hi and good morning. Okay, so I'll be shifting the time slot for Notions and Illuminations to 11 a.m. on Mondays. I'll be doing another show 8 p.m. on Sundays. That'll be Clairescence. That's where I'll probably do more. I don't know. I'm going to do a lot of instructional stuff because that's what I'm being led to do. And then let's see. Since I wanted to hop on here a little bit early and there might be people planning for later, right? I'll just go with this one right now. I changed how I'm doing like my moon rituals. I'm not doing them on Fridays only. I'm doing them on the day of the moon. It'll be at 3 p.m. on those days, whatever the day is. If I have another gig going, like I have on the 29th, right, the new moon of January, I will have a 3 p.m. gig going for the moon. And then at 3:30, we'll start our illumination stuff with self-care. So it'll be pretty cool. Anyway, 3 p.m. is what I'm going to do. I'll list those later on today. Plus, I'm also going to allow those to be online as well. I have a lot to list because we decided to do hybrids so that more people that were interested could attend and maybe check it out and then decide if they want to come down here or they want to attend online, depending on like what your proximity is and your choices. I just want to make it as easy as possible to come into the center or to join the community. Okay. All right. Well, I pulled my cards out and I started shuffling them. So obviously I'm going to be pulling cards right now. Not per person, I don't think. That's not where I'm going with it. They're just telling me to pull the cards out, shuffle them, and get ready. So here I am. All right. So, I often wonder, like many things, obviously. I don't know how it is for you guys with like what it is that you think about and like what you connect to and what makes sense for you, right? For me, if I just say, yeah, that's your truth. Okay, that's perfect. It kind of works out a little bit better for me. It's not like I don't have to fight to be right in my mind or in my heart. I can let everybody be right. And then I don't have to be contrary to what's going on. So, shifting into that mindset, right? When we start to remove, uh, different distractions, right, from where it is that we would like to be, it makes it a little bit easier to become who it is that we're meant to be, right? Right? So the idea is that we're enough. And that's going to be like the theme. So I'm going to give you guys, because today's the 30th, today is a Capricorn new moon. Capricorn new moon for you today, all right, is a way for you to manifest into like, because like we let go, Pluto let go of Capricorn. So we let go of the Capricorn sludge that we had, right? And so that's why it's starting to feel like more open, and still like, I don't know what the fuck. That's why. And the reason it feels like I don't know what the fuck is because we're coming to the end of our nodal cycle in Aries. So as it diminishes, we're going to feel diminished. We're at about 1 degree right now. As we're at 1 degree, what happens is that we feel like 1-year-olds in like our belief system, which is perfect. That's what's meant to happen. There's a lot of planets that are shifting this next year. So everything that you thought was the way that it worked, nah. Roll with it. Roll with it. If you're having an outside issue and it is attached to a feeling or an emotion, then you need to do some inner introspection to see what is holding you in that particular pattern. It isn't this. It's this. Something resonates inside of you that allows you to attach yet again to that same frequency in that same way. And unless you decide that you can observe it to where like it's kind of like here, right? You're going to continue to compile more energy inside of your field that will create confusion and overwhelm. So the idea is to sit as still as you can, as many times as you can, and just say, this is what is, and just be in observance for a second. You just observe your surroundings, you observe where you're at. All you're doing in that moment is you're checking your manifestation. That's what you're doing. You're checking your manifestation. You're checking your manifestation to see if it's like where you would like for it to be, whether or not there's other things you have to do to dial it in. If you can measure it on a percentage, that might even be easier. If it's your marriage and you're 70% in, then you have like another 30% that you can put toward it that you would like to manifest out of it. So just look at things like that, right? It's not a numbers game as much as it is an understanding. It's an understanding that it's evolutionary. So whatever you feel right now is going to pass and shift to another feeling because we're sensory adults or sensory humans, right? We feel touch. We feel a lot of different things. There's some people that may not. However, when you do, right? When you do feel, okay, then you're in your body. You're beginning to embody your experience. You're treating it like it's a body, mind, spirit, physical experience. When you do that, now all your cells start to show up differently. Your body shifts, your mind shifts, what you do shifts. It shifts into this understanding of enough and worth. And that's how you get present. That's how you allow yourself to be you in that moment. It is a lot of recognition and then reconciliation to what is. Okay. Now, I've done like a lot of inner work and I have a lot of different processes. I could share those processes with you, but it's not about doing inner work so much as understanding that you've done a lot of inner work and now it's more psychic debris. As it comes up, those charges, you're just processing and releasing. So you let yourself, you say, oh, okay, so this is that. Okay. And it's almost like a grieving process for the body to let go of the charges. And that's perfect. The idea is that you're always enough. You're perfect. You're perfect. Society, corporations teach us that we're not enough, okay? And that's not a truth. We're perfect. We've never had this day before. We've never made these decisions before in this way on this day at this moment in this time, all right? Okay? And even if time is a construct, I've never had this moment before. Ever. So it's perfect. I'm not a copy trying to be better. I'm not a copy trying to replace. I am me. I am me in this moment having this experience. Perfect. It's perfect. And the beauty of it, when you use the word beauty, I love the word beauty. When I say beauty, I start to bring in the whole vibration of it. And I start to think like the first things that I think about beauty are the beauty of you, right? How beautiful you are on the inside, how beautiful you are of your mind, of your heart, your body, the beauty of the situations that we put ourselves into, the beauty of the world around us. Beauty is a force of nature. When you use beauty, it's empowering, all right? And you can use it in context, and that will help. That will always help. So if you start describing your situations, your external situations with that word, and you start to look at the beauty of the situation, the beauty of the aesthetic, the beauty of how you feel, the beauty of how you think, the beauty of how other people think, the irony, right? The beauty of how different yet the same we are. Okay? It'll slow your world down and allow you to process in a more graceful way. Not only for yourself, but it teaches you kindness. You start talking to yourself more kindly. When you do that, you have a tendency to talk to others more kindly. So the idea is to give yourself you. Quit holding you hostage away from yourself. All right? Be good to you because you're enough. All right. Okay. So I'll be here on Mondays at 11 a.m. Okay, starting today. And I'm also doing another podcast by myself on Sundays at 8 p.m. at night. I'm going back to the Claire Essence one that I was doing before. I'm done with outside shows for right now, so I wanted to do that. I have a podcast on Wednesdays at 12:30 with Val, and that one has like a lot of astrology in it and different things. On Tuesdays at 3:30, I have free live readings with Sarah, and so that one is pretty cool. And then yeah, so we're doing lots of classes. All right, lots and lots of classes. So one of the classes that we have is well, today at 3 today at 3 p.m. I'm doing a moon, which is really cool because Capricorn new moon, and I want to make sure that what I want in the next 20 years is what I want. I'm going to be very direct. I'm going to expect it. I'm going to really put my jus in there so that I know what's going to come, because you could see what you could have. And when you stutter step after you see what you could have, those are all the things you have to work through in order to receive it. So I'm not stuttering anymore. That's the best part. I'm not stuttering anymore. I don't have to. I'm ready. Are you ready? You've done enough inner work. You've done enough everything. So you're ready. You're ready to move forward into this shift and change, this paradigm shift. Happy Aquarius. Yay. Okay. All right. So how about if we do this? So for today on Mondays, maybe I'll pull situational. Okay. So let's see situational energy for this upcoming week. Like, we'll see like what they say, but they're telling me a lot. Okay. So the first card is, oh yeah. So it's a 3 of Pentacles. The next card is the Emperor. The next card is the Moon card. Okay. So those are the 3 cards that we have for this week. That means we're going to be doing a lot of inner work, but that makes sense because we're coming down to the last part of our nodal shift. When that node shifts from Aries into Pisces, we're going to feel like a lot of freedom, but also untethered and in a little grief because we're closing a large cycle, one that's over 36 years old, right? In that, it's also in another cycle of 72, which is in another cycle of 144, which is in another cycle of 288. And that's how it works. So see, we're in a larger cycle that is closing. Okay. And maybe not last year, but the year before, we were feeling like the world was coming to an end, right? Because that was when we were moving from Taurus into Aries. All right. How the node works, how our mean node works is it starts at 29 degrees and goes to 0. Right now it's at 1 degree. So you might feel like a 1-year-old and like how it is that you're feeling, which is perfectly fine because that's actually on point. The idea is that we're learning an awful lot. Okay. So with the 3 of Pentacles, the universe is not being, it's being very gentle with how it's teaching us. Venus being the first planet that moved into Aquarius with Pluto. There's many more that we'll visit, but right now Venus is laying the tracks, all right, for how it's going to be for us. All right. You're not looking for patterns right now. She's kicking patterns out of the way. She's saying, nah. And then she's with Pluto. And she's also a representation of air and water. I mean, air and earth. Okay. And Pluto is like earth, water. Okay. So when you have the 3 of them, it's like 3 different forces that are shifting your experience. All right. In that, I have that we're learning, but we're also in a really good position. It isn't like we're coming from a place of lack. And when you look at this pinnacle that's at the top, right, how you have that little point in the archway and then you have the 2 smaller archways, you can see how the trickle down theory from the universe is coming to us, right? They're trying to teach us in a very peer driven way. Yesterday for me, my lesson was humility. All right. I had to sit really still and I had to allow spirit to guide me, right? And I couldn't figure out what it was that I was feeling. I couldn't figure out what it was that I was experiencing, right? And I couldn't move into a feeling that could match the vibration I was in until I could articulate the word. So when I articulated the word, which was humble, I felt very humble in the presence of all that is. When I felt very humble, I could do what I understand is the definition of humility, being my fullness of who I am, standing next to something greater than I am, right? And when I felt that humility, right? Not humiliation, humility. I understood in that moment that I'm meant to do what I'm doing and it will be okay no matter what. That the planets are going to line up for me. And if I choose to move forward, they're going to help me. If I don't choose to move forward, then I'm going to do a lot more inner work. And let's face it, I'm fucking done with that shit. And that's what I'm learning. Not done, but you know what I mean. Okay. Now there's 2 spiritual lessons that we're going to be in for this week. All right. So it's going to create structure. That's something that I'd really like for you to pay attention to. Saturn is coming up on its 2-year mark. All right. In Pisces. And so no sleep till Brooklyn still holds, probably getting a little bit more sleep the minute that, we have a lot going on in the sky right now. Okay. So Saturn is a planet of structure and divine masculine energy. So it is very representational of the Emperor. All right. So the Emperor is an Aries card. All right. So that's a doing card. So this is like where we once felt like we had our shit together. Okay. All right. It's time to go internal and see what that shit is that we're willing to release. So if you're doing any kind of a moon ceremony today, I would suggest that you do like a little writing of what it is that you want to let go of first. Get rid of it, burn it, rip it up, throw it in the trash, do whatever it is that makes you feel like you are separating from it. Okay? All right. Now with these 2 particular my favorite with these 2 particular cards, right? This is a very Pluto card, right? And this is a very Aries card. Pluto's in Aquarius right now rather than Aries, right? But what it's showing us is that we have a depth of understanding that we're tapping into that we weren't aware of before. In that depth of understanding, we're going to become more of who we're meant to be, falling in line with our purposes, falling in line with our kindness, gentleness, our exploration, our experiential aspects, more supportive, more loving, because we've already experienced the contrast of decimation and diminishment. In that, we're going to let go of that trauma in the next few weeks. All right. So when the node shifts on the 12th, all right, and goes into Pisces, breathe. Today would be a great day to make a commitment to yourself about what word you want to use as a theme for the year. All right, this next year. What word is going to be your anthem? All right. It would be a good idea to build in support systems. The easiest way is to do it seasonally. Say, by this season, I would like this. By this season, I would like this. By this season, I would like this. These are my senses of accomplishment. And start right now. Start in winter, because this is the hibernal season. This is usually when we go into ideation, spiritual growth, understanding, application, and then we come out to plant seeds in the spring. So allow yourself to know that you're in the right place at the right time and everything is happening for you in the right way because you're perfect. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I really like this 11 o'clock slot on Mondays. It feels really good. Okay. Well, I love you guys. I hope that you have a good day. I know that I talked a lot about like what it is that we're doing here at the center. All of it will be posted later on today. You're more than welcome to check out our website at bodystudios.com. I am available sporadically for one-on-ones, not as much as I used to be. Okay. So if you were to need that for the coming year, you can go on and book a dream session. Okay. And I will be happy to be of service. I love you guys. Have a great day. Thank you.